Hello everyone. Welcome to another weekly forecast. I'm Ray, your astrologer, and today we're going to be talking about September 30th through October 6th. And so, as a reminder, before we get into our forecast today, you can check out my website, rayoflightastrology.com, and check out my services. I've got an ebook that I've just finished that I'm really excited about. It's over 40 pages. Well, it is 40 pages long and it covers what is astrology. It will explain everything you need to know about what makes up a chart, about what different kinds of astrology there are, different ways that it's used, and yeah, in general, it's just a pretty good resource for you to have. There's an abridged version you can download for free if you would like a preview. And if you read through the abridged version, I also have a promo code at the end of it for a little discount on the full ebook. So keep your eyes on that, and I appreciate it. If you've been enjoying these forecasts, make sure that you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment so that these videos will get recommended to other people. And let's get into it. Let's get into this week. I don't have a general overview this week. I just want to jump into each day. So we're going to start with Monday, September 30th. We're going to have Mars in Cancer making a trine to Saturn retrograding in Pisces, the Moon in Virgo making an opposition to Saturn, and a sextile to Mars, and then Mercury in Libra conjunct the Sun. Excuse me. I think I said that they were conjunct last week, or maybe even yesterday on the 29th. Today they are like fully actually conjunct. I might have mixed that up. The forecast today, ask someone for a hug. That is all I wrote because I think with Mars in Cancer and with Mercury in Libra and even with the Moon in Virgo, we can forget that the things that our body remembers are not always just the difficult and hard things that we've experienced. It also remembers really pleasant things and really nice experiences, and a hug or a high five or whatever is appropriate for you if you're someone who really is adverse to hugs, don't ask someone for one. Unless you want to change that, unless that's something that you want to act out of character on. I think it's a good reason for it. So ask someone for a hug today. Let your body remember what it feels like to be held and to be loved and for you to get what you ask for. Because it's a good way to practice asking for things and asking for affection that is not hard for the other person to do. It's not asking a lot. And that's going to be it for Monday the 30th. Next we have October 1st, Tuesday, the first day of October. We're going to have the Moon in Virgo making a square to Jupiter in Gemini, a trine to Uranus retrograding in Taurus, another trine to Pluto retrograding in Capricorn, and an opposition to Neptune retrograding in Pisces. We're also going to have the Moon entering the sign of Libra. You may not be able to prepare for everything, but compartmentalizing your life will help you feel prepared for the unexpected. And so, yeah, we can't prepare for everything. There will absolutely be times where we, pack everything except for an umbrella and then it rains. That doesn't mean we're wasting our time packing for everything else. It doesn't mean it's a waste of time to prepare for what you can expect. And so, if nothing else today, prepare for what you can expect. If there's an expectation and it is reasonable and you want to reinforce it, prepare for it. Allow it to be something that you can kind of ground yourself on rather than something that has to throw you off. And if it goes better than expected, you're prepared for that too. And so you want to be prepared today. There was a quote I read, I think it was last month. I might have mentioned it in one of the forecasts, but it's luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And so if you want to feel lucky, you want to get lucky, have a lucky experience, prepare for it. Prepare for something to go right. And maybe it will. That's going to be it for the 1st of October, Tuesday. Next, we have October 2nd, Wednesday, and this is going to be a big one. We're going to have a new moon eclipse in Libra. It's going to be opposing the North Node, conjunct the South Node, and conjunct Mercury as well. While that's happening, we're going to have Venus and Scorpio making a sextile to Ceres, the asteroid, and Capricorn, and Mercury and Libra is going to make a square to Ceres as well. Everything happens in its own time. When you're in a situation you can't control, patience will be your best ally. Even the impossible is subject to change with time. And so there were a few days last month where I kept saying, like, things are changing. The time changes everything, and we have to be on the same page, or at least get reacquainted with the things that are changing and the ways that they're connected to us. And I think when we're in a situation where we can't control a lot of it, we tend to panic and we tend to just kind of spiral a little bit and feel like we're totally at a loss of control all around. When we can practice patience, that can be an active thing that we do passively or actively that allows things to happen when they're supposed to happen and prevents us from rushing into something that is impossible that we will burn ourselves out on because, maybe next year we'll be in a better situation to actually go and tackle that thing or to unpack that thing or whatever it is. Practice patience today. That's going to be it for Wednesday the 2nd. Next, we have Thursday, October 3rd. We're going to have the Moon in Libra making a square to Mars in Cancer, a trine to Jupiter in Gemini, and an opposition to Chiron retrograding in Aries. The moment of forgiveness can be a little overrated. When you want clarity, it's important to keep in mind the longevity of your relationships. Focus on the future and let go of the past today. I think there's a little fly in here. I think the moment of forgiveness is often hyped up to be this big thing and this big moment of redemption and reconciliation, and it's not always that. Sometimes it is awkward, sometimes, we forgive someone, but we still feel some kind of way about it. Like, forgiveness isn't just about that one moment that we decide to forgive them. It's also about the longevity of our relationships, about the long term, and about their future because the future of our relationships is dependent on the present of our relationships right now. And so forget the past, or at least let go of it, you know. Try to focus on what you want the future to be like. Don't worry about what it was like before. Don't worry about what it has been. I got hiccups. Focus on what you want it to be, and that will be a good guiding factor for forgiveness and just for your relationships in general. And that's it for Thursday, the 3rd. Next, we have October 4th, Friday. We're going to have the Sun in Libra making a square to Ceres, the asteroid, and Capricorn. The Moon will also be in Libra, making a square to Pluto, retrograding in Capricorn. Then the Moon is going to enter Scorpio, and Venus and Scorpio will make a trine to Saturn, retrograding in Pisces. This one is a little bit of a loaded conversation. There's a little bit of nuance to it, and so I'm gonna try to be as clear as I possibly can. Um, Respect and tolerance are social contracts that require all parties to participate. You do not have to tolerate intolerance. And so I think there's this idea where if someone is a tolerant person, then they should tolerate everything that is put in front of them, whether it's disrespectful or harmful or malicious or an honest mistake. And it's important that we recognize tolerance as a social contract that both parties have to engage in. If someone is not tolerating you, you don't have to tolerate them. If they are putting you in a position where you are in a relationship with them that they expect you to kind of tolerate things that they won't tolerate, then they broke the contract. They broke the social contract of tolerance. And you see this a lot with like politics, especially. Like I remember I grew up in very, very conservative circles in several different Christian communities like Pentecostal, Baptist, Church of God, Assembly of God, all of the above. And there was this idea that people were just being like mean if they didn't tolerate you as a Christian when you were not tolerant of them in the first place when you were putting stipulations on how they can exist and where they have the right to exist and who they can date and who they can have sex with and be intimate with, who, their own actions that they are responsible for. If we're not being tolerant of them, we can't expect them to be tolerant of us. And yeah, I don't know. There's just like this martyr complex that some people have around the idea of tolerance, that they feel entitled to other people's tolerance without respecting the fact that they have to abide by the same contract. Kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but yeah, it's a tricky thing. You don't have to tolerate someone being intolerant of you. You don't have to put up with something that you don't want to. I mean, it's that simple. And that's going to be it for Friday, the 4th. Next, we have October 5th, Saturday. We're going to have the moon in Scorpio making a trine to Saturn retrograding in Pisces, a conjunction to Venus, and a trine to Mars in Cancer. Listen to your gut today. Put your trust in those that have earned it. This kind of builds off of yesterday of listening to your gut and just, if something's not sitting well with you, the way someone's treating you or talking to you, you don't have to put your trust in them. You don't have to even entertain it. You don't have to even respond if someone is really just getting to you. You can kind of leave it and put your trust in the people that have earned it and the people that have showed up for you and been there for you because you have that right. And I think it's important to exercise that right and to listen to your gut and to trust yourself today. The moon in Scorpio is kind of a anxious place. It's also a very instinctual and intuitive place. It's a place where we want to listen to our body and we want to listen to the things that it's telling us. It doesn't mean we have to treat it as truth and like, live as if it's the law, but it is something that needs to be considered and yeah, if someone's earned your trust, thank them for it and take advantage of that. Let them take advantage of them, but take advantage of the fact that you have a friend that you can trust and confide in and rely on. And that will help you feel better about the people you can't rely on or that you don't have to rely on. And that's it for Saturday the 5th. Next, we have October 6th, Sunday, the last day for this week. We're going to have Mercury in Libra making a square to Mars in Cancer, and then the moon in Scorpio will make an opposition to Uranus retrograding in Taurus, a trine to Neptune retrograding in Pisces, and a sextile to Pluto retrograding in Capricorn. After that, it will enter the sign of Sagittarius. You may be surprised what you get when you know what to ask for. Weave your inquiries with hope. So think about what you want and ask for it with the hope that you might actually get it. And be really clear on what you want. Because if you're asking someone for something specific and it's clear, you're a lot more likely to get it than if you're asking someone for something that you kind of know, but you're not really sure and like you might want it, but you don't know if it's really going to even be helpful. Like, that is not helpful for someone that's trying to fulfill a need or is trying to get you what you want. They just need to know what you want. And I think, especially with the moon entering Sagittarius, it's like you just have to ask for it. You have to go out and you have to get it and let it be known, or else it's going to live in here. It's going to live in your head, in your heart, and in your body. And we're trying to out of that a little bit. And so be open to surprises, and you might be surprised what you get when you know what to ask for it and what you're asking for. That's going to be it for Sunday and for this week. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. Don't forget to go check out my new ebook, What is Astrology Foundations? And leave me a comment. Let me know how this video resonated, how the forecast manifested for you. I'm very curious to see. I get a lot of texts and a lot of private messages from people that are like, oh my gosh, like, you have such a gift. This has been really helpful. I love it. I appreciate it anywhere I get it, and I would like to see more of it. So, thanks again. Stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you next week.